ready to admit that we're a little fearful of the Nets'
And now,
chances
here are
of
your
winning this
hosts,
championship.
David and Sammy Joseph.
Are we ready
Not yet.
to admit that there's some suspect shit going on with KD's health, with Kyrie's days off, with James Harden's health? Are we worried about the Nets' chances of being a championship winner?
Not yet. I gotta wait for to see if Kevin Durant will make it back before the end of the season. If that doesn't happen, then I will be worried. I'm not gonna lie, I will be worried. I'll be really worried. If I don't see him by the end of the season, I'm gonna be really worried.
If they can get everybody healthy by playoffs, then they're in a good shape. If you can go into the playoffs healthy, you're good. Because if someone gets hurt in the playoffs, depending on how far you go, all you have to worry is that one team, that one series.
I agree.
Now, if you
That's
say
fair.
you go to say you're the Nets, you enter the playoffs healthy, and then during that first round you lose a key guy, then you just gotta hope that you win, and you gotta hope you get that key guy back for the next series.
If Kevin Durant's the one that's gone, then absolutely. I don't think they'll beat the Philadelphia Sixers.
Hold on, I wanna pivot into something else. I think you guys made fair points so far. Woody, I want to hear what you think, man. Are you ready to say, despite their great looking talent and their great, winning percentage despite injuries, are you ready to say that they look a little shaky as far as winning it all?
What team you talking about again?
The Brooklyn Nets.
No way. To win it all in the East?
Why? To win the championship.
I don't believe so, man. They just not. They got the scores, man, but I believe in the defense winning championships, man. So they don't have it. Man. You think they can win with Durant playing the 5 or the 4?
That's the thing.
The 4.
If you notice, they've mostly played him at the 4. I don't know about that.
I like
he saw his defense
He could play defense. Kevin Durant could block shots, but at the end of the day, he's being very fragile. This year.
Yeah, the Lakers are not.
He is being very fragile.
The question is,
you can do that to the Bucks and all them. I don't know about the Sixers.
Yeah, but if he
it's going to be hard with the Sixers. It's going to be hard. It's going to be harder than people think.
If KD goes into the playoffs and they have to play against the Bucks, and he's at the 4 and he has to D up Giannis, he's going to catch some early foul calls.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that if they go toe to toe, they'll probably find ways not to have KD have to D him up. He's going to get quick fouls.
But I don't think they would do that against the Bucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, they won't let
They would play bigger.
They would know how to play Giannis anyway.
They would play bigger with the Bucks.
They won't have a problem with the Bucks, man.
With the Bucks, they'll probably put Jeff Green at the 4 and put DeAndre at the 5.
They'll shut Giannis down, no problem. I'm scared of the team of the West. The team of the West might destroy him down low.
Let me ask y'all this. Let's say the first round. It starts off with, let's say whoever they face. It could be the Miami Heat. It could be the Celtics. Whoever. The first round starts off with just Kyrie. Do you think they could win that round?
They're gonna lose.
Because it looks like there's a possibility that it might be just Kyrie or just two.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose.
To start. Does that put them in hot water?
If it's Kyrie alone, I agree. They'll lose.
They can't make any moves now, right?
No. They can't.
Aren't they trying to make a move on the low?
For who?
They're not trying to make any moves?
Nah.
I think the only move they could do is pick up people that got bought out. You could do that.
I don't think there's any.
You can pick up.
You know who I think of who just got picked up? Yogi Ferrell.
Yeah, that was a good sneaky pickup for the Clippers.
Clippers, man. 10 days.
You know what, man? They're back in my mix with the Rondo pickup and the DeMarcus Cousins pickup. Yeah. I'm believing in them in the West, man. I'm ready to put my foot down and say that.
They really got a lot. They really got a lot of depth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
depth is unreal. They're the deepest team in the league.
Championship experience. Don't forget.
I think Rondo was the move that inserted them where they needed to be. I really believe.
Clamped this dude down. Like,
I don't know why they didn't pay him. I don't know why they didn't
let him escape, go to Atlanta, chill a little bit, see the strippers, and then come back right.
Yeah, he was just killing in Atlanta. He didn't care about that team.
Yo, you just let him go to the Clippers.
He was important to the Lakers, man. He is too much of an important playoff player. I think the Clippers are only lost one game since having him so far.
Yeah,
he is important.
They've been on roll. And Kawhi's been hurt, and they've been on.
Paul George, I believe players like Rondo are good for Paul George. I think he's been balling out of control, man. Nicholas Batum is rolling. Kennard is hitting shots. Marcus Morris is hitting shots.
Rookie. Who's that rookie?
Terrence Mann. He's coming out of nowhere. Everybody hits shots.
He's like a forward, but he's a point guard.
Even Reggie Jackson's doing what he's supposed to do.
Reggie Jackson is nice now.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Already?
I still have to wait and see how LeBron and them come back.
Listen, man, the Clippers ain't playing around, man. I think last year they lost because of mental not being focused, man. They were taking people too lightly. But I don't think they're acting like that this year. They got the talent and the leadership now, and the intangibles.
Yeah, they're dangerous, man.
And DeMarcus Cousins, he's looked good on the 10-day contracts they've been giving him so far. They might as well sign him for the rest of the season, man. They got depth everywhere.
They do. It's crazy. It's crazy. They all just got to stay healthy. And
Rondo better be starting by the end of the season. I know he's been coming off the bench. They don't, but I think he should start.
Reggie Jackson?
In the playoffs, I think he will. I think
he should start in the playoffs.
Over Reggie?
Yeah.
Reggie's been playing really good this season. I'm not going to lie.
But Reggie would be better off the bench.
He will.
No. Rondo can play with it.
Reggie gets buckets.
But he has experience playing with Boogie.
Yeah, that's another key factor. Rondo gets people the easiest, most efficient shots that they could ever ask. That's valuable in the playoffs because every point matters. So
in the playoffs,
they're gonna be really scary, man. I think, like I said on previous times, I'm not even worried about LeBron, but Anthony Davis, I'm worried about him in those environments.
I still got my chips on them, though. I think they'll come back healthy.
I think this injury really is going to hurt their rhythm a lot. It's going to hurt their rhythm and momentum a lot.
They both been gone for too long not to come back with a bang. That's what I'm thinking about.
See, I think that's a problem in this. I think this is a problem, becoming a problem in the NBA. We're starting to get the mentality that the guy that sits out the longest comes back the best and freshest. I like to think the guys that are playing and that are warmed up already are the hottest.
In LeBron's case, the rest is always good for him, bro.
Not Anthony Davis.
But LeBron will get him going, though.
It's not working for him. For LeBron, yeah.
He'll get.
I don't think it works for Anthony Davis. There's no evidence of that.
Yeah. Anthony, I can understand why you don't trust him because he does have an injury history. I
think he needs his rhythm. Anthony's a player that needs to have had reps. I think he comes back tonight, right? Actually, either tonight or yesterday.
I think he might have came.
I think he's a player that needs to have his momentum. He needs to have that extra comfort with LeBron feeding him and vice versa. But dog, he hasn't had no key times with LeBron this year. He hasn't been there.
He hasn't been there the whole time. That's why.
I don't think you could just drop him in the lineup and expect him to be more consistent than this total Clippers team. I don't know about that. Yeah. Now, maybe if they were already here and rolling, I would feel differently.
That's why I think
we haven't even seen how they play with Drummond and those guys. Like they need to fill each other out.
Nah, but those are like lob catches. They're not gonna ask much of Drummond. They're not gonna ask Drummond to do much. When LeBron,
I think they're asking for a lot from him. Actually, they're asking him to be their best paint defender. And I think that's a mystery.
It is a mystery, but he's this is the first time he's in a role where he doesn't have to, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna be like what the fourth guy, the fifth guy option.
Not even, maybe the fifth. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like in Detroit, he was 1 or 2. In Cleveland, he was up there. Now you all you have to do is literally do 2 things: rebound, block. You know what I mean? Like you have no choice but to do this, and you're young. You see what I mean?
No, I feel you. I just think I don't know. He hasn't played in big playoff atmospheres. I need to see if he's capable of being their defensive anchor. I have my doubts.
That's true too.
I give him the benefit of the doubt. I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's athletic and big, but he's never been a lockdown defender. He's never been the rim protector he's supposed to be. So it's going to be interesting. I think they're asking for him to do that. And that's another thing that might be too much to ask, man.
I don't know, man. I got my chips. I just got to see how LeBron comes back.
Let's be honest here. What messed up the Clippers is they weren't focusing on handling their business, wanting to play ball, and beat people to get to the Lakers.
Gas.
Let's be honest.
They took their foot off the gas.
But every time they're nose to nose with the Lakers, they smack them up for the most part. I think there's just certain teams that got your number, and I think the Clippers might be that for the Lakers. The Lakers don't want to see them. That's what I do know.
They don't.
They don't want to see them. Not this.
They hope. I'm pretty sure they're gonna hope that they fall down again early.
And Jamal Murray got hurt in the Nuggets, so we got to kind of take the Nuggets out.
I never looked at the Nuggets in that picture.
No, I'm just saying with Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, they would have been that third threat. I would have respected them as a threat. But
what about Phoenix?
The Clippers, I don't see a weakness in the Clippers. The only weakness is mental.
What about Phoenix?
Phoenix is the wild card. They could sneak up on anybody, but they could lose to anybody too. I think they could beat anybody on the right night, bro. They really could scare anybody.
I think
they are now ahead of Denver.
Yeah, I replaced them.
They're the third guy.
Replaced Denver with them as the third threat.
Dog, Phoenix is capable of being in the conference finals.
And they got 8-2. They might be the best team with the best big guy down low.
Yep. You got a little jumper too, man.
Aiton can shoot, yeah.
So
they're a threat for sure, but I'm getting bothered by people saying Chris Paul's an MVP candidate.
Who do you got for MVP, Dave?
The only reason why I say hold on, I'll answer that, but I'm bothered by that because
he's not.
Don't get me wrong. Chris Paul's playing great. He's aging like fine wine. He's still one of the greatest leaders ever, if not the greatest leader now. But let's be honest. This team's being fueled by Devin Booker's greatness. This team's being fueled by DeAndre Ayton's greatness. These ascending talents. This team's also being fueled by the depth with Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges. And this team's also being guided by a very underappreciated coach with Monty Williams. Monty Williams is a proven competitor in the coaching ranks. So Chris Paul got a lot of people that he could hide and blend in with. You're not carrying nothing. He's just playing his role really well, as Chris Paul always does.
Mm-hmm. His numbers ain't eye-popping enough.
That too.
It's just
He's just being a really effective all-star point guard with ascending talent. But let's give Devin Booker the love. Devin Booker's doing the heavy lifting. I really think his name should at least be in the top 5. And Sammy, I know why you're asking me about MVP, because this is the weirdest MVP year ever. It's someone's gonna win it, and they're not gonna feel like a total MVP.
Who do you got?
Yo, right now, man,
It's okay. You can say it.
I think we might be on
Right
the same
now,
page, Woody.
it's either I know it's gonna sound crazy. It's either Nikolai Jokic or it's Joel Embiid. I'm really going between the big men this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think they unlocked another level in their game that nobody else has unlocked. I think we got to respect the big men this year, man.
I was giving it hands down to Joker.
Joker has the case now because Dame got hurt, KD's been hurt, LeBron's been hurt,
And his man Murray been hurt, and he's still been winning.
Joker's out of his mind.
Since Murray been hurt, they're still winning.
But if I was to nitpick a little bit, Joker's not that high of a seed, whereas the Sixers are.
He's 4.
I respect it. But Joker and Embiid, I think it's down to them two at this point. I think Joel Embiid deserves all the respect in the world. I think Doc Rivers deserves some love too. And I believe in them, man. I think they could be a finals team, bro. I really believe they're the biggest threat. They're the only threat to the Brooklyn Nets, to me, in the East.
I was giving it hands down to Jokic, man. I just feel like he worked harder than everybody else.
That's tough.
I feel like
because Joel Embiid had the Sixers. I mean, he did have a couple weeks off.
He had like almost 20 games out, and it was still pretty good.
He had a couple weeks out, but man, do you see their record when he's there?
True.
And you see where they're at this year?
It's true. But if my thing is, I would give it an Embiid hands down if he didn't get hurt and it was still high. You know what I mean? That's why I said Jokic, and Jokic just played almost every game.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him.
In every game, he's doing something crazy. And his second best option is out. You know what I mean? It just looks better for him.
He definitely, right here, right now, he might have a little bit more narrative points.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Sure. I'll say that. He definitely does. But I think, the centers are back, man. They're multi-talented. They're both almost shooting 40% from three. It's crazy. But, the centers might be back.
I'm liking it. It's like the two best big men are finally in the MVP conversation. The first time since Shaq in 2000.
What you think Jokic is MVP?
Yeah, hands down. And now he has to definitely prove it since Murray's down.
Murray's down, yeah.
And
Now he has to be aggressive.
If he keeps that place, you have to give it to him.
You have to. You kind of have to.
I respect it.
So, I think he's
Man, it's going to be so unique for a center to win it again.
Oh.
I definitely feel it's between those two.
He does it all.
And I don't think, and everybody else, I think they're out of the discussion. I don't know why they keep, I don't know why they keep saying Steph Curry's name. He's not even in the.
Yo, I don't know what are they doing.
He's
bro.
not even
like, bro. What is your problem? We've seen Steph do things like this before. Now it's amazing, but dog, he's not having a.
He's not even in the playoffs, bro.
His team's mediocre right now, bro.
Oh,
that's what I mean. You can't do that. Like I understand the situation. He's balling out, but at the end of the day, he has to suffer the same thing that legends before him suffered when they had terrible teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember when Kobe was scoring 35, 6, and 6?
Scored 81.
And they didn't give it to him because he had to suffer for playing with Kwame Brown, Smush, Sasha Vujacic. He had to suffer.
I agree.
Everybody has to go through it. Like, now you got to go through it. We're not going to put you in MVP talks and reward you. Like, that's too much reward.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the perfect point. He's playing out of his mind, but
you got to
MVPs. You have to be like a top 5 seed.
At least
you have to win. You
got to win a little bit. Like
that's like the unwritten rule. Your numbers have to show through wins too.
And I was sticking up for Dame, but now I got to even kick Dame out because
he got hurt. He got hurt at the wrong time.
Yeah, and now you.
But if Dame was still doing what he was doing, I think he would be in the discussion.
I had to kick him out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a wrap for him. But man, I'm rooting for a Sixers-Clippers finals. I really am. That's my preference, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
I would like that.
Sixers and Clippers.
Think the media wants it? What sells more tickets?
I think the media wants a healthy Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie versus the Lakers, but that's looking suspect.
Yeah, it is.
They're not looking healthy, bro.
It is.
And they say hamstrings aren't the worst injury, but they say hamstrings are the most tricky injuries to keep track of, yo. And they both got hamstring issues. So you remember that's what messed up Chris Paul to get hurt in that game against Golden State, where Houston was supposed to win that, man. But
and the thing is,
hamstrings are tricky,
man. And the thing is, Kevin Durant just got back on the court. So does this mean
That's why I don't like it, bro. He's getting hurt too close at a time. Like, he just got back.
Does this mean he was never healthy to begin with? Like, I don't understand.
That's a good question.
I don't understand what.
Is it worse than we expect?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Can't mess around with that injury.
I think it might be.
Like, this dude's becoming injury prone overnight.
But James, I think he'll be back. I think he'll be fine.
So can James and Kyrie beat a Miami Heat in the first round? That's a tough first round match.
I think they can.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
I think James Harden could on his own.
You don't think him and Kyrie as a duo can beat the Heat?
They could together. I think James Harden can.
Dog, it's tough, bro. It's really tough.
No, I think they could beat the Heat. If it's that pairing, I think it.
You think Kyrie by himself could do it?
No. They're losing if Kyrie's by himself.
I'm gonna give him a benefit of the doubt this year and say maybe he can win a round without.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think.
You don't think Kyrie got a little better? I think he got better by himself in the games without them. He has gotten a little better as a carrier.
Come on.
He don't feel motivated more a little bit this year?
He's looking sharp, but it's a playoffs.
Yeah, but in the play.
Bro, I think against the Celtics, he could beat them if they would have faced them in the first round. He could beat them. He got enough.
In the playoffs?
Barry Parker, man, don't sleep.
Woody, I'm out of here, bro. And I like Jabari Parker still, but what the hell do the Celtics need him for? They don't need another forward.
Another 6'7", 6'8" type dude.
Scorer.
Oh my God.
Score first. He's looking pretty.
I like Jabari Parker.
Highlights him.
I still like him more than Wiggins. I don't give a damn.
Wiggins is playing.
Yeah, Wiggins is all right this year, but he's still inconsistent.
Really that ill with the.
Steph could never rely on this nigga to hit open shots, bro.
Oh, man. I thought that pairing would actually be decent, too.
Yeah, bro. I expected a little more.
I thought they would actually get a
on the Timberwolves, he was actually at least giving numbers. Now, he don't even give you numbers like that.
I heard he's an ill defender.
Nah, he is playing defense, and he scores sometimes.
He probably like,
this dude has so much untapped potential. He don't care about ball,
so much
bro.
attention.
I try to believe in him. Yeah, he has mad skills, bro.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Man. Kevin, if it's Kyrie and James, I got him going second round at best.
You think Miami with Oladipo, a healthy Butler,
they might get back.
They might give him fits on defense, bro.
They might.
Those guys defend.
They're probably gonna get by those guys.
Injury-prone dudes.
Who?
Oladipo and Jimmy Butler. Come on.
Jimmy Butler's not injury prone. Oladipo is though.
For sure.
Nah, Oladipo's I'm starting to give up on him. This dude gets hurt all the time, bro.
For sure.
But Jimmy Butler's a baller. You know that, bro.
That's his verdict, yo.
I don't know. I can't say with a definitive that the duo without Durant could take a Miami because they're so well coached.
Nah.
They got a system. It's tough.
Did you see what they were doing together before any of this BS even happened? That duo alone was killing the league.